Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons. Welcome to Strange Eons Radio, episode number 200. That is Eric Morgan over there.
I feel like we need that air horn sound. Hello.
That's Vanessa Williams on the air horn.
Hi.
I'm Kelly Young. You guys, 200 episodes. Let me just put this out there first. I was talking to Eric about it earlier. I'm going through a real rough stretch, and I'm super depressed right now, so I'm going to try and bring that energy right to this party.
You're depressed?
Fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I feel like a terrible friend.
Good times all the way around.
I don't know how to break into that. Should we talk it out?
No,
What
I
can we
don't
do
think
for
so.
you?
Vanessa, one
Yeah.
thing, at least I'm very aware of who I am.
Yeah.
And I am the architect of every negative thing that has ever happened to me.
Okay.
But I can still feel sad about fucking up constantly, right?
Yes, 100%. That's.
Sure.
I mean, surely that's what it is. We're not depressed about all the things we did right.
You know what? You have got something there. Vanessa, I saw a picture of you at a Halloween party. I should let everybody know
man.
we're recording this on the day before Halloween. So you were at a Halloween party last night, and your costume was amazing.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Yes, I took the opportunity to, whenever I do dress up for Halloween, I always choose something from a John Carpenter movie. This
Shocking.
was no different. I know, to everyone's great surprise. But when you go to a party filled with people who don't know you, and you show up and you're wearing like a pirate costume with torn sleeves and like a dead man's face and a big gold cross and weird white fluff around your feet, people get real confused.
My favorite was the fog around your
Yes.
feet. I thought that was absolutely inspired.
Uh-huh.
Well, Captain needed a little something to give people a hint, which apparently was not helpful because no one knew who
They
I
were
was.
like,
Wild.
she must be trying to tiptoe around and keep her feet real quiet or something.
Something. They knew it was something. They just could not work it out. And I was like, it's a movie. The fog. That no one had seen it. No one.
Wow.
Even the people who were into movies had not seen it. And I was like, you know what? It's fine.
man.
This is for me. So
A industry party, friends party.
it was an industry party. So it was actually put on by a company that does a lot of film adjacent projects in town. And I thought everyone there was in the film industry as well. So I'm further shocked
Wow.
that
And
they don't watch movies.
Nobody knew the fog.
No, this is a bridge too far, but that's okay. There was some great costumes there. Mine was actually pretty bad compared to most of the ones there.
Wow, that surprises me. Maybe we should
Amazing.
post that picture of you on the Strange Eons radio.
Yeah, absolutely. We should do it. We should do it. Are you guys going to be dressing up for your respective Halloween
Yeah.
days?
No, I've got some candy, which I imagine you'll take a handful of on your way out.
If I'm allowed,
There you
I will
go. All
absolutely
right.
do that. Yes.
But I'll probably just load up some movie, some horror classic, and watch
Yeah.
that.
We
Eric,
have-
did you do anything?
We have, well, for Halloween, we have no trick-or-treaters. We've lived there for, I don't know, maybe 10 years probably. Never had a single one.
Wow.
So, you stock up on candy just in case.
Right.
Always. I know, but the year you don't is when they'll show up and you'll be like the horrible people who
we've-
didn't have candy.
We've had plenty of times we didn't have any. So, so no, it doesn't. Knock on wood, they won't show up this year.
I think last year I got 4
Oh,
or
okay.
maybe 5, and I was thinking today I just went and bought that when I went shopping. I was like, why don't I just be that cool guy and I'll just get 4 or 5 full-size candy bars. But
Yeah.
then you don't want that getting out when you only have 4 or 5. And then everybody shows up.
Good point.
You look really generous and
Right.
you know.
Also, I was like, why am I doing this? I hate kids. Nothing will make me feel happier than having them come, knock, and be disappointed at what I'm giving out.
But do you hate kids who like Halloween, though? I mean,
It's tough,
Yeah, that helps.
but
I've
the answer
also-
is yes.
Growing up in small town, we didn't really have a lot of apartment complexes. So I always thought when I moved here, I was well past Halloween by the time I moved here or trick or treating. But I never thought, wow, apartment complex. You got like large ones have like 100 and some odd
Sure.
things. Why aren't you just barreling through these
Right,
things? But
yeah.
nobody seems to go to them.
I find that so weird. I remember as a kid, like, because I grew up on an island and there weren't that many houses to go to. And you basically now they just have a sign up sheet and you just say if you're actually going to be there. So the kids only go to the houses that have candy and people who want them there. But when I was a kid, we just go around and, you get maybe 4 or 5 people who had candy. And so then I'd go and visit a friend who lived in like a cul-de-sac in a neighborhood in the suburbs.
There
And
you
I was
go.
like, this is like Mecca. Look how many houses.
Spielberg world.
Oh,
That's where you get the candy. We did do a little Halloween thing last night. We watched that because Dina was very happy to find out that she had seen a horror film that I had not.
Oh,
So she said, well, we
Whoa.
got to watch it. So we ended up watching one of the huge ones off my list of I've never seen, Sleepaway Camp
Oh my
and
God.
Sleepaway Camp 2.
but she had seen it?
She had seen
had
Sleepaway
seen
Camp 2.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, that's such a trip. How did she come across Sleepaway Camp 2, but not even the first one? And how did she get to him at all? That's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know where she couldn't remember where she watched. She just figured it's probably like maybe they had Showtime or HBO because
Yeah.
nobody in her family was renting that. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a little surprised. She's like, yeah, I remember watching this when I was really young, going, whoa, is that what sex is like? The scene in the bathroom. Like, that's an interesting setup for you there, wasn't it? She's like, it was a little strange. So you were really young. He's like, yeah, I was really young.
Oh my God. Wow. That's a big one to knock off the list.
Yeah. I mean, I knew everything. It's not like the shock at the end was like, oh, I didn't know that. Of course, I knew everything that happened in Sleepaway Camp. I just had not
Right.
actually seen the whole film.
That's so funny.
The really uncomfortable part of that film now, as you're watching it as an adult, is not the twist ending. It's the beginning when the young camper girls are running in and the cook's like, we call them baldies. And I was like, that girl's maybe 10 years old. I'm uncomfortable with this statement.
Yes, he
Ugh.
is so sleazy. I'm very glad he's the first person killed in the movie. He's like, man, you need that character gone. That was, ugh.
Ugh.
But so yeah, that was kind of fun because she did enjoy that because that is not often.
I imagine not.
I bet that we each probably end up watching some kind of horror films as a tradition for the actual holiday.
I'm trying to get her to watch The Changeling. I mean,
Oh.
scary movies actually scare her.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I kind of want to see you watch this because it is so good.
It's so
But
good.
Jesus,
It is creepy.
Yeah. And it's here in Seattle and it's all.
Let me know when you're doing that. I'll make sure to drop a red ball right in front of your doorway so that when
Just
she
leave
opens
it.
it.
Take her on a tour of the UW campus the next day
Oh,
and
jeez.
see how that goes.
Well, I did want to say to you guys, so 200 episodes, I'm going
Yeah.
through depression. You guys are the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yay,
And I will,
aw.
and I will try not to fuck this up. No promises, but
yeah.
I really love you guys, and I can't
Aw.
believe here we are, 200 episodes.
It's
In fact,
incredible.
I was going to say, Eric,
Hmm.
we should just go back. Do you remember what episode you started on, Vanessa?
Oh gosh.
Or 64 or something like that.
64?
It was like
think so.
yeah, or was it in the 40s? It was
Maybe
it was
46,
definitely
probably. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, it was.
something in there.
I say we go back, we retroactively renumber these starting there at 1, and we can have another 200 celebration
go.
next year.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I just love to be included. So, you know.
To be included. It's like you've been on what? About 75, 80% of the
It
episodes
still
now. So
feels special to me. I still feel like I get to be the cool kid hanging out with the cool people. So, you know,
I have news for you.
Yeah,
don't
you're-
say
you-
it
you
out
haven't-
loud.
You haven't
Keep it
figured
to
that
yourself.
out? You haven't figured that out yet, huh? All right.
My
Uh,
definition of cool may not be everyone else's definition of cool, and I accept that.
That's fair.
I saw a ton of stuff. Vanessa, I'm counting on you bringing up something that you said you were going to see in the last episode.
Okay, I can do that.
I will say then that I saw Black Adam.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also saw Black Adam. Eric, did you
No,
check
I'm not.
it? Okay.
Quite bad, but
Really? But okay.
100% entertaining because it's The
Yes.
Rock,
The Rock,
right? I
yes.
mean, he was great. The movie was trash and stole every single moment from a different superhero movie. And I was like, what is going on here? The tail of the tape is 36% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Whoa.
90% with the audience.
That sounds right.
Nice.
That sounds right.
The thing that was infuriating me most was of course, precocious kid, but he's trying to convince Black Adam that he needs a catchphrase. And I was like, oh, this was fairly annoying in Terminator 2, but it's more annoying now that I'm seeing it again.
But the kid can skateboard. Come on, he's a cool kid.
Yeah, he's so cool that they slap a tattered cape on him at the end to make him feel better. And I was like, hey, nerd, take that towel off.
That's not helping. I haven't seen it yet, and I know that's not going to help.
There was one really bad moment where the kid is meant to, it's sort of a climax of all these things happening at the same time. He's meant to do this battle cry, and it's so like low key and kind of broken as he does it. And you're like, oh, buddy, couldn't do a second take? Come on. Like, give this kid a chance. Dub him, do something. This is awful.
I thought it was interesting. So it's been so long since I've read the Shazam comics and Black Adam and all of that stuff. Apparently, Black Adam is no longer Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
He is whatever, Kandarian or whatever, some made up thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that we can't say that The Rock is appropriating that culture since that culture doesn't exist.
Yeah. True.
The other thing that annoyed me so much was Atom Smasher, who's basically Ant-Man, but as if who's the kid? Tom Holland is playing his Spider-Man character in an Ant-Man character. And
Yeah.
I was just like, this all
Wow.
feels so ripped off. And it's just fight after fight. I was just bummed. It needed a little more humor. It needed a lot more story. And especially for what that story is, I guess maybe it needed a lot less story. It was so confusing as to why all of this shit was happening and why anybody cared.
Right.
So
But Pierce Brosnan was so good.
I suppose
I really liked him. I thought he did a great Dr. Fate.
yes, you're right. The problem with that is he can be counted on to do anything great in his sleep.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal that he was great. I expect that from him.
Sure.
There were just other things that were just very annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
I walked out and I was like, well, I hope we get a Black Adam too.
That was one of
Yeah.
those films that I thought was really looking forward to, largely The Rock, of course, doing a superhero. Why not? Because he is a freaking walking superhero.
Right.
And then I saw the first couple trailers. I'm going, maybe I'll wait for this to show up on, what is it, HBO Max? I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it looked worrisome.
I had so little faith in it
Oh, okay.
that when I saw it, I was actually really happy. I was like, this is a super entertaining film. I think The Rock does a great job. And I don't know, it's totally ripping off tons of other stuff. He is essentially the Terminator, but just, I don't know, had a good time with it. But
Is it, I'm just curious, is it actually, how to word this right? John Carter of Mars, everybody said the movie was ripping off all these other things. In reality, his was way before any of the movies.
Right.
And they just ripped off a bunch of shit from him. Does Shazam like that? Or is it that they're ignored Shazam and just went with, let's do the Terminator and all that shit?
I'll be honest, I don't really know, but the real thing you have to focus on when you're asking that question is it doesn't matter because the filmmakers need to realize just because this came first in this particular medium, it's already been done to death in the medium they're trying to make now.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like we got to do something different.
yeah,
Cool.
and I'd say I feel like this story is made up specifically for, like, I don't think this is based on any I mean, it obviously Black Adam exists, but I think this particular tale feels very threaded in because it's like a Suicide Squad almost esque.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
it is that. And the fact that Shazam is not put into this movie,
Correct.
but he says Shazam to get the lightning powers and all that.
And he
was
has
like,
the same like origin.
yeah, I felt like they needed to they just needed to pull the Shazam character into it for just a scene or two.
That would have been
Yeah.
really cool. I think that would have been a
Smart.
good decision. Well, I checked out a film that I had talked about saying that I was going to check out, and I did it. I did in fact go, which was Halloween Ends.
Oh, yes.
Have we all
I have
seen
seen it now
Halloween?
too.
Ends?
Yes, yes.
Vanessa, I know you loved it. I watched it and I was like,
It's-
Vanessa's got to be loving
This
this.
is so Vanessa.
Are you kidding?
I just
I
feel
am
Carpenter weeping over this movie with joy.
I have to say I laughed so hard so often through that entire film. I get that you're not meant to, but I was having such a good time with like how bonkers insane because somebody had said to me, oh, it's kind of like got some Christine elements, and I was like, yeah, it's sort of like Christine, but if Michael Myers is the car.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so it's incredible. It's an incredible film that exists today.
Looking forward to the sequels featuring our brand new version of Michael Myers.
Well, he killed himself, so we won't
He'll
get
be
that.
back.
I have to say that if this is what these filmmakers thought their audience wanted, then they are out of touch with just horror audiences in general.
Yeah.
How did they let them make this script? How did they look at this and go, all right, here's some money. Go on, kids.
Did you learn nothing from Halloween 3? Yeah, it's popular now, but do you remember what happened for about 15 years after that movie came out?
Like Halloween 3, the movie Halloween 3.
Yeah, Season of the Witch, which,
Yeah.
you messed with the Michael Myers. Nobody liked it then.
Right.
And now you turn Michael Myers into
Exactly.
Obi-Wan Kenobi without even a
With his-
person, was
with
keeping
no
the
soul.
same level of personality he's always had,
Yeah.
which, was none. So,
It was so weird. It was so weird. And I mean, honestly, I wish they had done an actual homage to real Halloween 3 and just been like, actually, he's dead and not here at all. And this is all happening without him. And this kid is just like going off the deep end. That would have been more interesting.
sure.
Well, don't think I didn't hope that's what was happening as
Same.
soon as those Halloween 3 credits opened. That's the same font from
You're so
Season of the
right.
Witch. And I was like, oh, they're doing a little switcheroo on us here. And
The opening credits were
they
very good.
They
by the
sure
way.
did a switcheroo on us.
I will say because the expectations have lowered, like you mentioned with Black Adam, that I enjoyed watching this movie more than the Halloween Kills.
Oh, sure. It had such a strong opening scene. I actually felt like the opening bit with the babysitter and the kid was incredibly good. And it set you up for like, oh, wow, where are we going? And then immediately it was like, everyone is awful. Everything is awful. Everything sucks. Everything's filmed really dark. Every single shot is like, why are the band kids like so mean? Like nothing in this has even a glimmer of positivity, including the way that the camera is being swung around. It was just insanely depressing. It's just like, am I supposed to be rooting for this town still? Like, I don't want to root for this town at all. I hope Haydenfield burns to the ground for real. Like, these people suck.
Can you imagine this as a real event that happened in a real town, and then we, not living in that town, are reading a story about how they caught a murderer, then paraded him through town, and the entire town followed and threw him into a car crusher? We'd all be like, the fuck is wrong with this town?
Agreed. Even the I don't know. There isn't a scene in there that isn't depressing, but
I don't know the Halloween lore well enough. Jamie Lee Curtis, was that her daughter or her granddaughter? Granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
The turn on a dime of their relationship, of going from very loving and supporting to each other to her venomously hating her grandmother,
oh yeah,
was really weird.
And then back.
And then it's like, oh, I guess you're right. This guy wasn't so good for me. I love you again, Mom. Grandmommy.
Grandmommy, I'll be back. I'll help you. Yeah. It was what a movie. What a movie.
What was the general feeling walking out after seeing that in the actual theater? I hope somebody stood up and said, "Listen, Halloween couldn't end fast enough."
There was no one there. No one saw it. Like there were 3 people altogether in the whole theater. One of the other person left for a while and then came back like 20 minutes later.
Wow.
So that they missed a huge chunk. And as we went into the theater, the ticket guy was like, "Oh, I'm trying to train this guy and there's no one coming in tonight. So I'm glad that you're here so I can make him do anything." So I don't know. It's just, who knows? Maybe it's a flop. Maybe it's not.
It did fine.
Yeah, it did
But-
fine.
Yeah, and so we also know that this is not the end of Michael Myers. We'll either get a completely new revamp or reimagination or something like that. I don't know. You know, I can easily see within the next 10 years we're going to get a new Halloween with a not as cool mask, and it'll be Michelle Myers, and that's what we will be dealing with next.
You hate women so much.
No comment.
You know what we're going to get before that, though? We're going to get Exorcist 1, 2, and 3 from the same guy who just did
geez.
these 3 Halloween films.
Okay, this is a real thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's real awful.
That's so bad.
Unnecessary. You guys could like not do that and that would be all right.
Yeah, and they got the now I can't remember her name, the actress who played
Linda
the
Blair?
mom.
Oh.
Not Linda Blair. They couldn't. I don't know if Linda Blair would even be interested in this, but they got. Boy, why am I blanking on her name? Telling you, we need a live
Yeah.
producer in here.
Yeah, and
We
he's only
need
sitting in the
IMDb
background.
in here.
But
This is
Ellen
what you're
Bernstein.
like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They got her involved in this new thing, and I think that they're probably just going to do the exact same thing.
Oh my
now.
God. She's like weathered and back to deal
Oh,
with
boy.
the dead Pazuzu or whoever.
Yeah, that movie's 50 years old. She was 30 something in that movie. So,
Oh, wow.
And that story does not lend itself to a
except it
massive
did in the
reimagining.
first season of the Exorcist TV show,
They
which
did a
which they
great
actually
job.
did a good job with. It was like, why do we need to touch this again?
I
Yeah.
do need to watch that.
Oh, it's so good. All right. Speaking of good, finally watched, and I don't know how we want to handle this on the show, but Barbarian.
Oh, I still have not seen it.
Oh.
Okay, good. Then we'll hold off. But it's fun. It's well worth checking out. So yeah, I would put that on. It's on HBO Max now. So easy to see. That's how I ended up watching it. Turned on HBO. Oh, I'll be watching that.
Are you saying how we're going to handle this because there's like spoilery discussions?
Yeah, it's one of those films that's fun to not know. I mean, it's not quite as out there as a lot of people made it sound like. You don't want to know anything about it. It's like, okay. But it's good to not know anything about it.
It
Okay.
is good. It's better too. And I will say for anyone listening, don't watch any of the trailers because there was a
Yeah.
series.
They give away a lot.
Yeah, the second trailer especially gave away something very important that you might not want to know when you're watching the movie. So
I have managed to stay pretty innocent as far as this film goes, so
You
maybe I'll
should.
watch that tonight.
yeah, you should check
Maybe
it
I'll
out.
watch that tomorrow night while I'm handing out 5 pieces of candy.
Throwing candy at kids. Another one.
I'm going to talk about something I don't think either of you watched. It's called Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Oh my God, I almost watched it, but no, I did
No,
not.
I do not.
It is based on a short story by Stephen King. In
Oh.
fact, it has one of the kids from the It movies,
Mm.
and he's really good. It's got Donald Sutherland in it. Ever heard of him?
Oh, nice.
He's really good. And the story is good. When I say that, I mean the story that this is based on is really good, and this adapts it beautifully.
Hmm.
There is a problem with adapting this story so spectacularly in that a short 20-page story has no need to be put in 3-act structure or anything like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and it was not in 3-act structure. So when you watch the
Oh.
movie, something happens at the end, and you're like, "All right, well, where are they going from here?" Credits, apparently, just like they did with the short story. And I'm like, "Well, this movie went nowhere."
Interesting.
I thought they were gonna like jazz it up, and I was like, "Oh boy," it's about a kid who bonds with this older man, and he gives him an iPhone when they're first coming out, and the guy is not really interested in it or anything like that. But then he finds out he can do his stocks on it and everything. He's a very wealthy man, and he gets hooked on the phone. And they even have a couple of cute things where he realizes this is basically the devil's instrument at the end of mankind because he's like, I can see how being tethered to something like this could just totally ruin a person. And then when the man dies, the kid slips the phone into his jacket at the funeral, and then he starts getting phone calls from his dead friend, which is all very creepy.
Yeah.
But it ties up in a kind of Ray Bradbury like way in the story. In the end of the movie, though, I was like, oh, he's got to be he's got to get rid of this phone, and then Mr. Harrigan is going to be like, oh no, you're not off this easy. You know, the phone comes back or something like that. Nothing. So
Awesome.
So like the end of the package. It's done. And show's done.
that's right.
Oh, I like that. Actually, that's kind of nice. Well, it took me a really long time to do this, but I did finally finish Midnight Club. It was just,
Okay.
it felt like there was a lot of it, and it just kept. But I really enjoyed it.
I've watched either the first two or the first episode and a half or so.
Mhm.
And you know my weird fanboy with Michael Flanagan. I just like the way he tells stories.
Yeah.
So I'm liking watching it.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a step back from where he's been going.
Yeah, it's a
mm.
YA adaptation of a book series.
So it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that he gets to some of those really interesting, deep levels that he achieves in other projects. This is definitely nothing like Midnight Mass. This is nowhere near as impressive as some of his other stuff. But for the content, I think he does a pretty good job, and I really enjoyed the ride.
Cool.
I'm glad I checked it out. But it did feel like I've not seen hardly any of the films I was gonna watch this month. I'm too busy watching Midnight Club.
Yes, I've kind of avoided the TV shows because of trying to do the movie challenge
I'm
stuff.
so behind on Andor because I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this till November. Damn it! I need to I've finished the rest, but this, yeah.
Don't get me started on Andor.
Uh-oh. Well, I watched one that, see how I can talk about it, but is either of you seen Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
No,
No.
I was really interested in it.
How do I put this without, it's another one that you don't want to ruin the ending. A whole bunch of really damn annoying people lead to a really fantastic ending.
Interesting. Cool.
I almost stopped watching it because they were so annoying. Yeah, it's an A24 and it's got I don't know if it's a new thing or if it's just weird writing where people go from 0 to 100 in like 40 seconds. No matter what the problem is, their reaction is massively extreme all the time. And every character in this movie does that, except for one lady starts off just being horrible and then she kind of gets her shit together, but she's not the main character. It's very bizarre.
Huh.
But then
It's a comedy, right?
Yeah. More so than it seems like until you get to the end.
Ah, okay. I just, based on the name, I thought it had to be a comedy.
Yeah. And then I think it was on Letterboxd. I read Tony's take on it. I'm going, okay, I will finish watching this because he referenced the ending as a worth sticking around for. It's like, yep, okay, you're right.
That's
You're
what I've
talking
heard
about
from
Anthony James Kay.
Yes.
Okay.
The master himself.
That's definitely what I've heard from a number of people who saw Bodies, is that they like almost left or quit, midway in, and they were like, these people are intolerable. I don't want to be with them anymore. And then we're really happy with where things ended up going.
Yep.
So, is that available for streaming yet?
Yeah, it's on, or maybe it's rental, like a $4 or $5 rental.
Okay, maybe I'll check that out tonight
There you go.
while Kelly's watching Barbarian.
Hey, you guys. Last episode, we announced our new phone number, and
Yes.
apparently some of you weirdos actually called.
There you go.
And I don't think even Eric has listened to the messages, and we're going to do that right now. You want to
Oh, we are? Okay.
introduce that, aren't we?
That's a fast segue. I was like, what? Oh, we are? Okay, cool. All righty. So we'll see how this works.
This is so exciting.
Hi gang, this is Will from Hong Kong calling in to congratulate you on making it to the 200th episode. What a milestone! Woohoo! I've been listening to you guys from the very beginning. I love the friendly banter, the playful teasing, all good-natured of course. Whether it's Vanessa railing against the new 4 movie, or Eric describing his dealings with some a-hole director, or the shameless shenanigans of Kelly, at the end of the day, it's all good stuff. I've seen how the podcast keeps evolving and how you keep innovating and raising the bar to new heights. It's great to see that you guys are able to keep mixing it up by occasionally changing the format of an episode, like playing an April Fool's prank or turning things around with Ego Fest, or even bringing in a freaky egg timer. So congrats again on show number 200. I look forward to seeing what you have in store for us with your killer podcast. You guys rock.
Wow. You probably should have played that one last.
God,
I don't
no, I
think
hope
anything's
not.
going to get better than that.
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Will. That was damn.
Wow, Will's got a really strong British accent. I wonder if he's like actually from the UK or if he's Hong Kong with a UK English learning.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but I could listen to him talk forever.
Forever,
Yeah, he's
100%.
gotta,
Ugh,
yeah.
it makes me feel home listening to him talk.
I'll start sending you. You can send my transcripts to you, Will, and you can reread my words so they'll sound so much cooler.
Like freaky egg timer. I just want that to be like on repeat on my phone for my alarm in the mornings. Freaky egg timer.
Will, you
So-
rock. Let us know if you start your own podcast so we can listen to those dulcet tones.
There you go.
No kidding.
Speaking of other podcasters,
Hey guys, it's Andrew Byers from the Friday Night Fright Fest podcast. I've been listening to you guys since the very first episode. Followed Kelly over from the Lovecraft E-Zine. Congratulations on 200 phenomenal episodes. I've really enjoyed all of them, possible exception being the ninja ones, just not my thing. But I've loved the original format, loved the current one. Really enjoyed you guys bringing Vanessa on board. It's just been a great team. It really feels like listening to a group of fun, smart, really knowledgeable friends talking about movies. One of my very favorite things. I've learned a lot from you guys over the years, been turned on to a lot of really great films, probably would have never been exposed to or even heard about if you guys hadn't been talking about them. Really enjoy hearing about the TV shows, the comics, the books that you guys are enjoying as well. Those are always really interesting. And I've also really enjoyed connecting with some of my fellow fans of your podcast, people like Danny and Ron, both awesome guys. It's funny, Danny and I used to even work at the same organization, but I'm not there anymore, and we didn't even know each other when I was there. But in any case, congratulations again. I really can't wait to see what you guys have in store for us in the next 200 episodes. And all right, take care. Thanks.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Hey, did I say I was depressed? I feel like the king of the world, you
yeah,
guys.
no kidding, man. This was good timing for this to come
No
through.
kidding. Andrew, what lovely things to say. Thank you so much.
I love the amount of love I'm getting from different people like that. You guys brought me on, but also thanks for your honesty, Andrew, about the ninja episodes. I couldn't agree more.
Wow.
He wants
well,
more disco, I'll bet.
Here comes the depression
No.
again. Thanks, Vanessa.
Well, we have another one, so maybe that'll help some more.
Hey guys, this is Robes. Long time no see, although I hear your voices every week. I've been listening since back the days when it was called Dead Again. And I started listening because, hey, it's Eric and Kelly, and kept listening because it's a great show. I've never met Vanessa, but as a Buster Keaton fanatic, we all feel a kinship. Thank you for making my work day more interesting once a week, and congratulations on 200, and keep it up.
Oh.
Wow.
Love it. So
there's,
cool.
There's
So
a lot of love in this room.
There
not
really
not in
is.
this table, but coming out of Eric's phone for sure.
Yeah, there's at least that right there.
Oh, and also he loves Buster Keaton. So yay, our fans are awesome.
That's right.
All the way. I forgot about Dead Again.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that was short-lived,
Yes.
but fun.
Thank
Oh
you
my
so
God.
much.
We got another one here. Hope you're enjoying this as much as we are.
Hello, Micah from down south. Congratulations on your 200th episode. I should tell you a quick tale real fast here. So back before Vanessa was ever on your show, a person named Eric recommended to her a film called Lady in White. And she was like, we've got to go check this out when she visited me the next time. And we watched this movie, and we both hated it. And then she left. And I looked between the taquitos and the vegan bacon in my freezer and found her copy of Lady in White, which I then mailed back to her as a Christmas present that year. So thanks, Eric. But no, congratulations.
I don't think I knew that you hated it.
I hate it so much.
She talked about it on the show one time.
That is hilarious. And you decided to hide it in the refrigerator.
It will not be the first nor the last time that it's in order to get rid of the DVD. I will hide it in a friend's freezer. I was just talking to my friend Chris, who I left Death Row Game Show in his freezer. So I do like that it's next to my vegan bacon. That was very excellent. Which I guess I also left behind. So there you go.
Oh, bonus. There you go.
And he did not mail that to me, so that's good.
Thanks, Micah. Let's grab another one.
Hey, Kelly, Eric, and Vanessa, referred to by one as Kev, the Trinity of Strange. It's Ron, a.k.a. Rad Ronald, calling in to say congratulations on 200 totally awesome episodes. On behalf of my brothers and sisters in arms, as the founding member of Strange Eon's Army, we salute you. Stay strange and soldier on, my friends.
Man, Ron has got the FM disc jockey voice, doesn't he?
Does.
He sounds great.
He sounds awesome.
It is great hearing voices from these people, because most of these people we don't sit down and go to drinks with someplace because they don't live around us. We may not know you in Meat World or whatever you want to call it.
Did you just call us Meat World?
Yeah, I don't think we wanted to call it that.
Oof.
And also, we all thank Ron for buying us some pizza.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
Thank you for
Ron.
that.
That's incredible. It is so nice to hear people's voices, because I love being able to associate people with, especially when we get to meet our fans too, like getting to see them in the flesh and meet them and be like, you're a real person who actually listens to us. It's not just like a number on an algorithm.
Yes.
That might be like made up by the internet somewhere.
Now, if you send this in or if you sent us a voicemail and we didn't listen to it at this point and respond to it, because we got it between the time we record and the time we post. There's a few days before that. And if you send us one, then I'll include it, but we won't be reacting to it because nobody will have heard it.
Sure.
We'll get to enjoy it live with the rest of you.
Right.
That's
Eric,
right.
if people want to get a hold of us, what is that number?
Open back
You
there
think
of
I'd
your
have
phone.
that memorized by now, but I don't.
Unlock it.
I
This is why we
should.
need a catchy number like 1-800-SAR or 1-800-EON.
1-800-SARS. Oh, wait, that's not
Right.
good.
SAR, a couple times.
I just keep adding stuff. Kev, Aeon, Kev, SARS. I'm here all day.
Thank you. Liz. Okay, so it's 253-237-4266. And I'll put out this too, and we'll see if I get shouted down from the other members of SAR about this. If you want to send us a voicemail at any time, it doesn't have to be an anniversary episode. Send us something. If you want to say we're morons for not liking Halloween Ends or whatever, feel free. I mean, if you're an asshole, we may play it and make fun of you. But if you're nice, we'll, play it and say thank you.
If you are an asshole, please let us know at the end if we can play it and make fun of you.
That's right.
I say if they call and they leave a message for us, how do we not have permission to play it?
I think there's actually a law about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Maybe we could
Stupid
alter their
world.
voice.
Exactly. Turn it into the text type. I think I bought an app for that one time.
I would love that. Yeah. If at any time you want to just drop a message and say you're loving the show, you're hating the show, or you've got a suggestion for something, please do that. And let's make this a regular thing. Thanks so much. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, how about we take a little break, and when we come back, we're doing something really special for this 200th episode.
Yo, piano puppet, do your thing. even when times are gray, playfulness lives on. We see it in the karaoke singers, and in the pranksters, too. And in the rapping flight attendants. There go the owners of skateboarding dogs and the street artists who play for no one. Know what Fanta calls them? Colorful people. They work hard just to make strangers smile. Acting colorful, eating colorful, drinking colorful. Colorful people. They're the grown-ups for whom maturing is overrated. The cab drivers that decorate it like a room. And all the people who laugh out loud as they type LOL. They too have exams to take and bills to pay. But they won't let that hold back their playful spirits. We need more colorful people. So we never let the gray win.
We have returned. First, I want to do a call back to Will's phone message there. I love that he used the word shenanigans. It's one of my favorite words. So hearing him say that in his lovely voice was like, oh, nice. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
All right, you guys. So we are going to do something completely different because this is episode 200. We are not talking about 3 films today.
Right.
I thought it would be kind of fun to get to know you guys a little bit better and see if we can actually work together.
Oh my God.
200 episodes in.
Right.
We should check on that.
we should just do a little round table and make sure we're all part of the same team.
Right. So with that in mind, I thought it'd be really fun for us to each take the Myers-Briggs test and then keep that information to ourselves and only reveal it when we got here. Listener, if you're not familiar with the Myers-Briggs test, they believed that they could help people understand themselves, and that would help people select occupations that were best suited to their personality types and lead healthier, happier lives. Lord knows I need that right now. Myers created the first pen and pencil version of the inventory during the 1940s. I didn't realize this had been around that long. And the 2 women began testing the assessment on friends and family. They continued to fully develop the instrument over the next 2 decades. I just want you guys to know this. It says right here, no one personality type is best or better than another. However,
Okay.
I'm fairly certain mine is better.
Okay. This is like some real corporate shit right here, by the way.
Isn't it? This is ridiculous. When I told people we were doing this, people close to the show, they were like, oh, I'm really interested in seeing what your personalities are like.
It was just fun to take our real version of this because I've only ever done the internet ones, the free internet ones. So, it was, cool to see.
So the way this works then is it breaks you down into 16 personality types. And I don't know that I buy any of this, but I'll tell you what I came up with. Hey, you guys, this feels like I'm speed dating or something.
All right.
I'm an ISFP.
Jesus.
Wow, I didn't expect such vitriol.
It's just so different than mine.
The I is introversion. The S is sensing. The F is feeling. And the P is perceiving. It says about me, ISFPs have a great deal of warmth, but may not show it until they know a person well.
Oh.
They enjoy the present moment and are often relaxed and easygoing. They are loyal and committed to their values and to those important to them. They are modest about their abilities, dislike disagreements and conflict, and do not force their values or opinions on others, Vanessa, no matter what you say. They value home, family, health, and financial security. Now, this is a series of, what was it, like 100 questions?
More than that. It was like 140 or something.
I just cracked open a bottle of wine and really thought about these things. And the problem with this is the way the questions are phrased was, do you think this and this, or do you think this and this? And I was like, wait, I think this, but I don't and this. And so I was constantly being torn between these things. So that when you take the second part of the test, they tell you whether you have lined up with what they thought based on the first. And like every time it was, oh, we would have thought you were this instead. So as an ISFP, that's called the artist. I'm supposedly easygoing and flexible and tend to be reserved and artistic.
Okay.
The doctor, when I was young, told my mom that I was a little artistic, but I think I'm completely artistic.
Okay.
Anyway, the other thing I could have been was an INTP, which is the thinker. Quiet and introverted, they are known for having a rich inner world. Now, that feels a little bit more like me.
Yeah.
But when I started actually digging into this stuff, it was like, I guess I'm an ISFP. My characteristics, you tell me. Do I try to take time to enjoy the people and the world around me?
I mean, sometimes. Depends how much wine is available.
This is
At
true.
the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival, you do?
Yes.
Sure did.
In places you want to be, you absolutely do.
And isn't that what this really is about? We're like,
Right.
sometimes I am
so-
this way, sometimes I am not this way.
That is definitely the frustrating thing about this. Yeah.
It says that I'm attuned to the sensory details in the environment. I'm not sure if that's true or not about me. It says I find quiet satisfaction in simple pleasures.
Oh, yeah,
Now,
sure.
by that they mean masturbation. 100%.
I was going to go with a simple bottle of wine, but all right.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to say, like a comic or like a good, like old Stephen King book. I can see you finding pleasure in objects.
It says that they learn more by doing than by reading. I do believe that about myself. My easygoing nature often hides my deep values and commitments. I read some of these off to people who are close to me, and they were like, boy, I'd like to see that easygoing nature once in a while.
Maybe you had one and then just over time and life experience, things shifted.
Oh, I'd say over about 160 episodes for sure.
Oh my God.
How I deal with others. I care deeply about people, but may show it more through acts of kindness than through words. That is 100% me.
Yeah.
Loyal and committed to people important to them. Absolutely. Faithful and fulfilling obligations to others. Yes. In a timely manner.
Yeah.
I'm attuned to the feelings and needs of others and flexible in responding to them. That one I'm not sure that I'm very good at. And I know somebody would tell you I'm not very good at that. They tend to be quiet and unassuming and so may underrate themselves and be underestimated by others. Their warmth, enthusiasm, and playful humor may not be apparent to people who don't know them well.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. Because
They-
you're so quiet and people just assume...
Vanessa, they have little wish to dominate or control in interpersonal situations, okay? I want to kind of get into your guys' stuff. There's pages here, but I think we should be like going back and forth and figuring out how we react. So, Vanessa, why don't you tell us who you are?
Well, shocking. I'm actually only one letter different than you. I am an INFP. So I've got the N rather than the S. Introversion, intuition, feeling, perceiving. A little bit about my person, I guess. INFPs are idealistic and loyal to their values and to the people important to them. They are curious and quick to see possibilities and often are catalysts for implementing new ideas. They want to understand people and help them fulfill their potential. They're adaptable until one of their cherished values is threatened. They value home, family, autonomy, health, and creativity.
That sounds like you.
Nice.
Yeah, it does and it doesn't. So I also really struggled with this test. And there were a lot of times where I was like, yeah, okay, so I'm really creative and, free thinking, and except for I'm an editor and I have to be really organized and very technical. And I also, I'm really like great at meeting new people and having conversations. I'm really interested in talking to people, but I'm also an introvert. And I would really prefer not to be at a party in the first place. But once I'm there, I can talk to people.
Nice.
So there was a lot of weirdness. So actually at the end, it was like, hey, what do you think you are? And I put in the INFP and it was like, but what if you were an ENFP? And I just had to look through all the definitions and go back and forth and decided that I was in fact an I. So
Can I tell you what my little sheet says about you here?
sure.
Because I don't know if you guys downloaded this part.
I probably
As an INFP, you are called the mediator.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You are idealistic with high values and you strive to make the world a better place.
Oh.
Well, that sounds great, but none of these say something like you're a complete asshole and everyone
Right.
hates to be around you. So,
Right.
Nobody's a villain in their own
right.
personality.
No, I mean, they do. They kind of skirt around it. Like in here, it says characteristics and it says idealistic and maybe perfectionists.
That's a good quality, right?
Well, is it? Is it? I'm pretty sure when I'm like, why couldn't you put the dish in the dishwasher the minute you're done using it? That might not be the nicest version of me. I'm like, the trash can is right there. The object is 6 inches away. Could it not make its way to land in the proper facility? No? Okay.
Your married home life suddenly seems very different in my head.
No, there's just certain little things that I'm actually pretty chill about it, but I will give people shit if there's things that I anyway.
Sure.
They have an inner core of values that guides their interactions, decisions. They are loyal to their values. They want to live their life in a way that is congruent with those values. They are often good at expressing themselves in writing. That definitely sounds correct. I mean, like you said, there's all kinds of stuff. There's me with others, me with work, me blind spots. So
Yeah, we should get into all of that stuff too. But now let's see if Eric.
yeah,
All
It,
right.
it seems to me, Vanessa, you and I are simpatico here.
we have some
Let's
good
see-
overlaps.
Let's see if Eric's gonna fit in.
Surprisingly, also an I for the first one.
What?
IIFJ.
IFJ?
I think, or excuse me, INFJ.
There you
Okay.
go.
INFJ.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can
I
I
think
tell you?
that's like right above yours, isn't
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
you get into this, Eric, can I tell you what it says here about
Oh,
an
yeah, yeah.
INFJ?
Mhm.
The advocate. Creative and analytical, they are considered one of the rarest Myers-Briggs types.
Oh my.
You're rare.
Uh-oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't fuck this up now, okay?
That's right. So it's introversion, intuition, feeling, and judging.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do here on the podcast? We judge movies.
That's true. Or at least you do. I don't know about the rest of us.
Holy shit.
This is turning out exactly how I wanted.
Personality of Vanessa suddenly very interesting. Anyways, INFJs have a gift for intuitively understanding complex meanings in human relationships. They are conscientious, committed to their firm values, and quietly forceful. They develop a clear vision about how best to serve humanity and are likely to be organized and decisive in implementing their vision. They value home, family, health, friendships, spirituality, and learning.
Wow.
That sounds like you.
That does
except
sound like you.
I've never known you to be a very spiritual person.
Yeah, that's the one that was like, well, spirituality. I sit there and I go, it would be cool to have that faith, that idea of feeling there's something out there that you can turn to whenever you need that would help things. I think it's a cool idea. If it's out there, I ain't found my version of it, though, that's for sure.
I feel like spirituality can come up in different ways, though. Like, you seem like a very calm, like, in and of yourself, peaceful person, and you connect to certain things pretty deeply, like film. And I can see the things that might overlap in spirituality, like, existing within you. So, I don't know. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, this one felt relatively okay. You know, there's a few things in some of them going, I don't know about that, but yeah, that feels a lot like what I do.
You didn't argue with the sheet at the end. It didn't have to say, like, guess what you are. And then you have something that's opposite from what
Right.
the whole time you're like, no, that's me.
E? Really? An E? I don't think so. I remember I came up with a very weird moment when I realized how much of an introvert I was versus an extrovert.
Yeah.
Every time you go to Crypticon and I do the meet and, run through the vendor room to say hi to everybody that I know there and all the things like that. I got to the end of that one year and somebody I know was sitting there and they're like, wow, you look really tired. I'm like, I realized that's why I was so tired, because I'd done that lap through the vendor room. And I love talking to these people. I adore all of them. But at the same time, that much interaction with people I don't see all the time saps it out of me, man. Give me that. Back to my hotel room.
I remember I thought there was something wrong with me very similarly. Like I met with way back in the day, I had an English boyfriend and I met with his family. And the first night I was like live and bubbly and talkative and going back and forth. and then crashed out. And that next morning at breakfast, I just sat there in silence. And they were like, what happened to the girl? And I was like, I don't know. And I couldn't force anything out. There was nothing left. And then way later, I was like, man, that's the definition of introvert. Like you just, all your energy goes away. I'm shocked though that Kelly, that you're an introvert.
Oh, I'm not.
I mean, I know you don't like people that much, but I thought that was just
an act that I've been pulling off
defense
brilliantly for
mechanism,
50 years.
If you don't like them first, they can't, you're not waiting for their approval necessarily.
I see. Eric, there's some more characteristics in there, right? Come on. Give us some good stuff.
Let's see. They're driven to implement their vision, often sacrificing personal comfort. They want to understand what motivates people and are insightful about others, have little interest in details, people or work that are not relevant to their vision. So there's one that's kind of negative sounding. Base their decisions and actions on their strong personal values. Always see possibilities for how to help others develop.
This all kind of rings true to me.
I love helping people develop,
Yeah.
man. And so
I meant the people at work that you don't like. That part sounded.
yes.
We're sitting right here watching you judge.
Judge away.
Really? Let me think on that. How do I feel about this?
Did you guys print out the part that shows how you are at work and blind spots?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. So as an ISFP, I want to have a purpose beyond their paycheck. I'm not sure that applies to me at all. They want to contribute to people's well-being or happiness and will work with energy and dedication when doing something they believe in. I think that's probably all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just all of us. I think that's a human trait.
Yeah.
If you like something, you're going to work harder at it.
I would think so.
This also says I'm a perfectionist when I care deeply about something, and are particularly suited for work that requires both devotion and adaptability. I'm not sure about any of that.
Devotion.
This one, they like to have their own space and to work within their own time frame. That is totally me.
Yeah.
Often excel in craftsmanship, and their handiwork is usually more eloquent than their words. I think that is probably me. I have a special love of nature and a sympathy with animals. See, this is one of those things where you're like yes to one and no to another.
Right.
I'll kill a human to save an animal any day, but I don't like particularly being outside anymore. Having worked out in it for many, many years, I'm like, I can sit in here today.
Yeah.
Apt to enjoy fields in which taste, discrimination, and a sense of beauty and proportion are important. I think that's definitely me. I tend to gravitate toward work that allows them to contribute to human understanding, happiness, or health, such as positions in teaching and healthcare.
Well,
Look, it can't all be right.
Yeah, there's got to be some
And it
deviation.
says they don't like jobs that require an analytical, impersonal approach to people. That is also true about me, I think.
yeah.
This is the thing. I should just be reading these off to you guys, and you guys have like a T or an F sign that you can hold up, a buzzer when I get one of these wrong.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like we have hobbies and then we have like a work world. And so the way that you might interact with your work world versus the things that you're actually passionate about can be so different. So I don't know, it's tough because some of that's true for things that like when you're putting together a car versus when you're out, on a site might be a little different.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, let's see that.
Well, some of my work stuff. God.
Hesitant on this one.
I mean, yeah. So INFP's main interest lies in seeing the possibilities beyond what is present, obvious or known. That's true. I like talking about ghosts and aliens and stuff.
You like talking about aliens?
My students get a lot of like really meandering stories from me. So I will just kind of take them off track. They tend to work in bursts of energy and are capable of great concentration and output when fully engaged in a project. That's true. When I get tunnel vision, that's true. But until I get tunnel vision, that is not true. They are perfectionists when they care deeply about something. INFPs are curious about new ideas and tend to have insight and long-range vision. I don't know. I'm curious and I have new ideas, but I don't really have good long range vision. I don't think I can see the end.
As an editor, you kind of have a little. You have to have a little, right?
Oh, for editing, I guess. But I guess I'm thinking of larger. No, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes somebody else to see something about us, and then we go, "Oh, I guess that is."
They are interested in books and language, and likely have a gift for writing. I studied lit, and I also had to take a lot of classes on language. I am like one of the worst spellers on planet Earth, though. So
Not the worst.
That's for sure.
Hello.
Suddenly, such closer friends. Where do you like to put your E's? At the end or in the middle? And I mean ones that don't belong. They can be persuasive when talking about their passions, which are quiet but deep-rooted. That's probably true. INFPs are attracted to positions in counseling, teaching, literature, art, science, or psychology.
Duh.
I guess.
Well,
yeah.
don't you teach class?
I do, but I kind of got suckered into it. So, but I don't hate it. I have been
There
doing
you
it for
go.
like 5 years. I'm as shocked as you are. They may have difficulty performing routine tasks or doing work that has little meaning for them. Accurate. You want me to do what? I'll get to it at some point.
Right.
Probably.
That's got to be all of us, though, in the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
I could see a person though who goes, well, I've got to get all these tiny, stupid things out of the way and then I can concentrate on work, maybe.
Yeah, and I
But-
will sometimes do that. Like, if especially if other people are going to bug me about it, I'll do all the stupid, dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, now don't talk to me about this for like 2 days. And then give me your new list of tiny, dumb stuff. Yeah, what about you, Eric?
INFJ's preference for intuition powered by their preference for feeling may be of immense value in any field. That's kind of vague. It can be persistent and insistent about communicating their vision. Can be great leaders when they devote themselves to carrying out a sound inspiration, attracting followers with their enthusiasm and faith.
You're a leader. You can like create a cult. That's pretty fun.
You're a leader, Harry.
Everything was fine in his life till the day he took the Myers-Briggs test.
Then.
Because the possibilities that interest them most concern people, they are often drawn to teaching, counseling, or the ministry.
Wow.
You're
Somehow the
really-
spiritual end got brought into this. I wonder what
Yeah.
questions you answered and how and why.
Yeah.
Where that difference came from, yeah, I don't know. Their preference for intuition provides insight into the deeper meanings of whatever subject interests them, and they get great satisfaction from aiding the development of individuals. When their interests lie in technical fields, INFJs may be outstanding in science or in research and development. Intuition suggests new approaches to problems, and feeling generates enthusiasm that sparks their energy. They may be reserved, but they don't hesitate to assert themselves when their values are violated. They will be unhappy in any job that is not consistent with their personal values or does not provide personal meaning.
There's a lot about how your personal values are going to like cause you to freak the fuck out.
You mean in general or with Eric?
It's just, I think if you had that spiritual element there where you were like, really into insert faith here, you would be awful to be around. That's what I'm getting out of this.
A lot of that was removed from me by my mom. She got intense into New Age shit in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
And I was, a teenager. Let's see what this is all about. And it got ugly. Her and her spiritual advisor fought, and that it was not great. So I was like, all right,
Wow.
this is not for me either.
Wow.
I just want to piggyback on what Vanessa said. More awful to be around.
Oh my
Yeah, that's a good
God.
point.
Jeez Louise.
So I've got some blind spots, you guys, or
Oh.
potential blind spots.
Potential.
It says if ISFPs have not developed their feeling preference, I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like something HR is going to have to deal with. They may not take the time to go inside and consider their values and therefore may make decisions they later regret. Oh, wait a second. I think I know exactly what this means. Or they may avoid making decisions altogether, allowing others or circumstances to decide for them. If they have not developed their sensing preference, ISFPs may have no reliable way of getting accurate data about the external world, and their decisions will then be overly personal. I think that's probably true of me. ISFPs may feel such a contrast between their ideals and their accomplishments that they burden themselves with a sense of inadequacy. No. Now that's not me.
Shit just got real.
This can be true even when they are being just as effective as others. By the way, this is my first time reading any of this too.
Yeah,
so
same.
I didn't know any of this about me either.
I read the first page, but nothing else.
Yeah.
The most modest of all the types.
That's something to say out loud.
Pregnant pause.
ISFPs tend to underrate and understate themselves and may take for granted anything they do well. They may then become overly sensitive and vulnerable with dwindling confidence in themselves. Well, here come the tears.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, should we play one of those voicemails again?
Should we get one of those like human pillows for you to hold on to right now?
Will, I'm going to need you to call up every week and just say some kind words.
We're going to need more of those cards in the mail, some stickers made maybe.
I would say those potential blind spots are a real fucking killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some tough ones in there. Some accurate, some maybe not as much, but you know.
Yeah. What about you, Vanessa?
You want to know all the things that are wrong with me?
Well, I assume that it's a very short list.
Oh, it's pretty lengthy. I mean, there's paragraphs here. They're pretty thick.
I think you're good.
If INFPs have not developed their feeling preference, this is similar to yours. They may not take the time to consult their inner values and thus may go from one possibility to another, achieving little.
Does that ring true?
Yeah, I think that like until I figured out what I wanted to do in life, I really was like, I don't know, I want to be a filmmaker, which is something I tell my students never, ever, ever, ever to say. Don't be a filmmaker. Like figure out what the fuck, be a camera person, be a, editor, be a director, whatever it is, be a screenwriter, but don't be a filmmaker because you'll never get work. If they rely too much on their feeling preference, they may make decisions based solely on personal values and find it difficult to translate their values into action. I don't even know how to unpack that.
They do have training courses that can help you through the blind spots. Maybe you hit upon one look into.
It was feeling too culty. I didn't want to click on any of those. I was like, I don't want to take your courses. If they've not developed their intuition preference, INFPs may not have a reliable way of taking in information and may then fail to notice the realities of situations. I think I'm pretty good at assessing stuff, so I don't think that's a problem I necessarily have, but you guys can tell me if I'm off.
I don't see that, actually.
Yeah.
These are potential blind spots with this
Potential blind
personality
spots.
type, not with Vanessa Williams.
No, I guess. Also, they may spend their time dreaming of the impossible and accomplish very little. That sounds pretty accurate. There was a long time where I was like, I'm going to be a director. Oh my God, I got very little done in that time. INFPs may feel such a contrast between their ideals and their accomplishments that they then burden themselves with a sense of inadequacy. They may then become overly sensitive and vulnerable when dwindling confidence in themselves. That's 100% true. I'm like, I should be this by now, or I should have done that, or I should have accomplished. Yeah, that sounds about right. But
yeah, how did those not end up on mine?
Yeah, totally. Well, ours is only one letter difference, so we're basically have very similar issues.
Yeah, I'm a huge S.
And I'm a little N. So, I don't know what any of these mean.
I'm fairly certain those sirens are coming for me, you guys. So sorry about this.
The end would be intuition.
Wow. What were you saying about being a bad speller?
All right, some blind spots. INFJs have, if If INFJs have not developed their intuition, they may not take in enough information or may take in only what fits their inner vision. Then they will make poor decisions based on limited or distorted information.
I don't think that's you.
You gotta listen to people around you once in a while, Eric. Come on. Jesus. You hear about half of what we say and you go off running in the opposite direction. We're like, no, that's not what we meant.
I would say, knowing you for 30 years now, that one does not apply to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I guess I'll quit that course because I signed up for all. No, just kidding. If their intuition is not developed, they may become so focused on their goals that they fail to notice any information that might conflict with those goals.
Opportunistic.
If their feeling preference is underdeveloped, they may not have reliable ways of making decisions about how to accomplish their goals. Then their valuable insights and creativity stay locked inside.
No, let it out.
It could be there. Also undeveloped. That one I feel that preference a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of see that too.
Yes. Undeveloped feeling may make it difficult for them to evaluate their inner vision and take in feedback from others. When INFJs try to communicate their inner vision, they may express it so metaphorically and with so much complexity that they might be understood.
That could be
that one sounds very familiar. I don't know if complexity is the right word, but lacking tons of details probably is closer. It's like, I know what I want. Here's what it is. That's not quite what I meant.
Aww.
Well, you know what? I got to say, hearing this stuff, that's basically the end of the results on us, right?
Yeah, without taking the course and finding out more. What I love about this is that if you look at the triangle, we're all just attached to each other in these little...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we're all like on each other's little things.
Huh. I did not notice that.
We're like a Bermuda Triangle of emotional...
Well, I know I am.
Good and or bad possibilities.
Ooh.
This has been pretty insightful for me. I have no idea if anybody listening to this is enjoying this at all, but I am.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure exactly what I was looking for in doing this, but I wanted to kind of break away for the 200th episode and try something new and maybe occasionally break away from the format and try something new.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
For sure.
Yes, I agree. And who's surprised we're all introverts?
I'm still a little surprised. Just like a shade of surprise.
But yeah, no, I like the idea of doing something different, something insight into, because there seems to be two real like fields of podcasts. There's people who share way too much and people who share nothing at all.
Right.
I'd kind of like to sit sort of in the middle of that. We don't need necessarily sit there and talk about, well, when I was 5,
right,
my dad did this thing, but you know,
right.
Maybe a little bit about what that thing was and led to could be interesting, but you don't need all the details about it.
I had a digit dropped on me when I was 6. So.
You had a digit? What's a digit?
Finger.
Okay. I don't know where this is going, and I don't feel safe anymore.
Suddenly Vanessa's very uncomfortable.
I just want to go home.
Put your hood up. It's like I'm going away
it's
now.
It's warm in here. And it's dark, and I have drawstrings as needed. Oh, no, I didn't. I took them out. Okay, well, I'll just...
Wow, this is taking a strange and lovely turn.
Yes, it has.
I think we just need therapy. That's what this is telling me.
What I got out of this, you guys, is that we work perfectly together, and I can't wait to do this for another 200 episodes with you weirdos.
Agreed.
Yes. Oh, hey, look at that. Synchronized there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else to say about this stuff? I mean, I did print out all this other stuff, but I think I'm just going to not talk about any of that.
Yeah, it gets get a little esoteric and a little generic after a while.
So is this like a psychological like tool set that we can value, or is this two ladies that formed a cult that we're all stuck inside of and just paid a bunch of money into?
I can see how this would help you as another employer or another employee dealing with another employee and saying, okay, this person reacts better when this is given to them this way. But how many, if you're in a place like Boeing or something like that, how many of these people are going to be able to keep straight who is what?
Yeah.
Have it on their name tag, just like instead of she, they, or whatever you can put in.
Oh, my goodness, yes, ISFP.
Oh, Lord. I think it could be helpful as a tool for yourself unless you turn it into like a biblical thing where this,
Right.
oh, this is what I am. This is what I should be reacting as opposed to, well, this is an interesting trait I might have. Let's see if I do. And if I don't, maybe I can develop it, or maybe I can work to not do whatever that is. But
Yeah. So don't quite go astrological sign with it, but
Right.
yes. Yeah. Although mine does overlap a lot with Virgo traits. So
Oh, all right.
Well, Eric and I were discussing a little bit when I had suggested this. Only 16 personality types. Coming up on 8 billion people on the planet. We're going to divide them all into just 16.
sure, we got to
personality
start
types.
somewhere, you know?
And then the massive cultural differences between
Exactly.
certain
God.
countries and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that in the end, I came out of this going, this is all a load of horseshit, but it should make for a fun episode.
Yeah. No, I think that there's always some truth in here, and there's something good you can take out of it.
There you go.
All right. Who has the choice for the subgenre for the next episode?
I believe that is me.
I believe
Get out
it
of your
is,
hoodie or
too.
get out of your hood and let yourself speak freely now.
I'm not a KKK member. Come on.
Wow. That's an interesting
That's the
place
only
to have
place
gone.
anyone's going to go to when you're talking about hoods. You know it.
Well, I said hoodie first.
Oh, it's true. So
That
But it
sounded-
is a white hoodie with eye slits in it.
oh my God. It says sub pop, okay? Just Jesus. Anyway, so since we're coming up on November and everybody knows what November means,
Ninjas?
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So
I knew that. I knew that.
So I thought maybe instead of ninjas this year, maybe we could focus on the bigger other holiday that is coming up. And I would like to throw out the topic of birds because it's such a bird-related, eventful month.
So movies featuring birds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just it has to either like star or heavily feature, have a big scene included. Still a genre.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind this.
Sure.
Right.
Give it a shot. See what happens.
Yes. Hey, everybody who likes and shares the post, cannot thank you enough.
Yes,
Everybody who
thank you.
called in, boy, I really cannot thank you enough. You really raised my spirits. I wish I had not read any of this lousy shit about me after that.
Yeah, we should have ended with them.
That's right.
Oh, well, maybe maybe we'll get another call or two in, and after this, I'll put those in, and you can listen to those.
Yay!
I love you guys. I love everybody who is participating in the value for value model, who's doing all that stuff, reaching out. It's so neat to hear like Will's voice or Ron's voice because
great.
I get messages from them regularly anyway, Andrew and stuff like that. So really, really nice. This was all sorts of fun and very therapeutic for me.
Yeah, it was
Aw,
great.
It was great. Yeah.
Unexpected accents and fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just,
Hmm.
yeah, amazing. It's kind of like, okay, let's put the number out. Hopefully we'll get a call.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that Carlos didn't
Thank
call.
you.
That's
Anyway.
true.
Yeah.
Carlos, you're in so much trouble.
Okay, guys, that's the show. We're going to be back in 1 week, and we are talking about birds. Transportation and other considerations for Strange Eons Radio produced by Pan Am Airlines. When you think of traveling, think of Pan Am. You can't beat the experience. Guests of Strange Eons Radio stay at Econo Lodge Everett. It's an easy stop on the road, if you know what we mean. Strange Eons Radio is recorded live in front of a studio audience. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a positive review on your favorite podcast app. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Is it? I'm pretty sure when I'm like, why couldn't you put the dish in the dishwasher the minute you're done using it? That might not be the nicest version of me.